Yeah, I mean, I'll start off with the performance on Friday against Chicago. I thought we were terrific. I thought it was a pretty much complete performance from our side. And going into this game, we want to build on that momentum from the first game. So we know it's going to be a competitive game. We know that it's always a tough environment to go play in. But we've shown our quality in the last two games, that we're more than capable of getting something out of this game against Gotham.
Going off, just kind of going off of Gotham, kind of what are you expecting from them this season? Obviously, some changes within their roster, but they still have the same core.
Yeah, I mean, still got the same head coach, staff, some players that we're still familiar with, some world-class players, and we'll have to be on we have to be on our best game to go out there and get a performance. They have gone through some changes, but they're a good team. They were all the way in the semi-final last year and barely missed out on playing us in the final. So Juan's done terrific since he's gone to Gotham, and so we know that we have to go out there and perform at our highest to get anything out of the game.
Coming off of last game, confidence is high within the team. How much does just that play into going on the road, playing against a very competitive team, like you said, and just having that confidence of scoring 6 goals in a match to kind of lead into the next game?
Yeah, we talked heavily about scoring the goals. I thought even against Washington in Challenge Cup, we had some good football in moments. We got into those attacking third areas, but we didn't capitalise on scoring the goals, and it was nice to see that we did that last Friday, and it'll be the same again. Can we control the tempo of the game, even though we're going away? We want to still control the game. We want to have good percentage in our possession. And yeah, again, create goal scoring opportunities by build up play, and set pieces is always nice as well. It was nice to get off the mark with Ali scoring from a set piece. So yeah, we just want to continue to build on what we've started so far.
Going off the set pieces aspect, you had 12 last game, I think 10 in the first half. Knowing that could be something that becomes a trend over the course of the season, where teams are just knocking the ball out of play and giving you those set piece opportunities. How important are you kind of making it more of a priority to practice those and make sure that those are more fine-tuned, knowing that those are going to be great opportunities for you to score, and teams might be giving you more of those?
Yeah, we're creating a lot more, especially corners, opportunities to deliver the ball into the area, and so we focus heavily on set pieces. Like you said, it can determine the outcome of the game. I'll always take a 1-0 victory with a headed goal from a set piece, and so we do a lot of work on it. I think it's growing. I think it's becoming a lot more important in other environments, no more so than our environment, because we have some really good weapons with players attacking the ball, and we've got the delivery. We would like to score more goals. Our percentage is a little bit down. Like you said, we had 12 corners in the last game and only scored 1, so we'd like to increase that number. But the good thing is that we're getting those opportunities from corner kicks, and so we'll continue to work on it, continue to try and score more goals from those areas, and hopefully we'll get a better outcome than we have done in the last couple of games.
Big fan of headed corners, eh?
Big fan.
I wanted to ask you about Priska. Obviously, starting to get her more minutes. Got her a bit in the Challenge Cup, now more in the first game. What have you kind of seen from her, and what she can bring, and the versatility she has just as a forward, as a winger, kind of deploying her in different positions?
Yeah, we identified Priska as a player that can be threatening in this league. With her pace, her power, her speed. Integrating her at the right time is important, so she has an understanding how we operate, how we like to play. But she has some things that we can't teach, and it's a really good resource for us, especially as the game goes longer and longer, to bring someone on like a Priska to threaten in behind or threaten out wide. It gives us options and opportunities to put her in. She can play as a 9, and we could potentially play 2 9s with Barbara and Priska. We could also play her wide, but we've got Ali Watt there as well. And it also gives the opportunity to play like 3 forwards. One of them could easily play on the left-hand side, and obviously Barbara's a 9 and Ali or Priska on that wide right, and then you've got a lot of pace up front. So it gives us options. They're all versatile to play in different positions, which we like, and it makes us somewhat unpredictable as well.
Talking about that versatility, I mean, last game you were able to sub out Rafael, move Emily central, play Corey out wide. I mean, Corey was a standout rookie for you last year. Just to be able to have so much depth and so much versatility where players can just move while they're on the field and you don't have to sub them out because they're uncomfortable. I mean, as a coach, that must just be the best feeling for you to be able to have that trust in those players to be able to play those positions and not have a drop of level.
Yeah, I mean, it requires everyone. We don't just want one-dimensional players who are only fixed in one position. Even in the run-up game, we're fluid within our attack. You can see at moments Marta, who is our 10 and is a attacking central midfielder, she'll pull out wide into wide spaces and receive the ball. We look like 2 6s, but then we look like we've only got 1 6 as well. So we have fluidity within our build-up shape and attacking shape. But to your point, it's good to see that there's players who are versatile to play right back, centre back, even Corey Dyke can play left back, which she has done in the past. So it does give us a lot of depth. It does give us a lot of competition for selection as well. It's always difficult because it's probably the hardest part of the job is picking a starting 11 when everyone's fit. Picking a roster for match day is difficult as well when everyone's fit. But it's good problems to have, and I wouldn't swap it for anything.
Last question from me for the game against Gotham. Obviously, you guys went up there and lost one of your 2 games last year. Do you feel like there's kind of a feeling around the team of wanting to get that one back in a way?
Yeah, I think not just from last year, but I think previous years I believe we haven't won there. So it just shows how difficult it is to go there and try and get a result. 3 points. But yeah, it's a new chapter. We can look back last year, but we're a different team. I think we're more ahead than we were this time last year as well, and just taking into context as well, that was after us winning the Shield and being the number 1 team when we played them. So I think the circumstances are different to where we have been previous years, but we're looking forward to it, and it should be a competitive game.
Great. Thank you, Seb.
Cheers. Thank you.
All right, to wrap up our media avail this week, we have Morgan Gautreau. Morgan headed to New York for a Sunday matchup on ESPN. Just kind of open up with some thoughts about playing Gotham on Sunday.
Yeah, I think we're excited after the game we had this past weekend. We're just looking to build off that. We've had a good week of training, and I think Seb had mentioned that this club has never won at Gotham before. So I think for us, that's something we're itching to do, and we're looking forward to on the road.
Right, go ahead, Austin.
I guess kind of going off of that, the game last year, one of the 2 losses that you guys had. Do you feel like there's kind of a vibe around the team of just like wanting to get that back in a way?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously, we won a lot of games last year, and we want to do the same this year. And so I think for us, we're just looking to build off of our performances. And I actually felt like last year against Gotham at their place, we had a good performance. It just didn't, the scoreline didn't show it. So I think for us, we had a good game there. And I think at that point in time, too, we had, let our foot off the gas a little bit, but I think for us now we're just wanting to continue to build off the performance, and it was a domination of the game last weekend, and I think for us that's what we're looking for, is to try and dominate teams.
Just kind of going off of that last weekend, I mean, the confidence is obviously very high within the team after scoring 6 goals in your opener, breaking a record for most goals in the first weekend. Just how much does confidence kind of breed that success, and how much do you kind of feel that just the vibe around the team is kind of leading that way, kind of in a similar way last year maybe? Yeah,
I think we've talked about it a lot, where confidence is a huge part of it, and this is a new year. So we want to take the confidence and everything that we built last year and bring it into this year, but also know that we have a lot of goals and things that we're ambitious about this year, and it's a completely different year with completely different teams. But we've taken that confidence from last year and the performances that we had, and then obviously the confidence from this past weekend. I think for us, we're just firing on all cylinders.
Just for you personally, how are you feeling heading into this new year? I mean, you've been around the league, you've seen this team, from their very first game because you played in it. But just from your perspective, how are you feeling and your role within the team right now?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's been a long time since the first game, and I can't believe time has flown so quickly. But for just to be a part of this club and this team and the culture that we have within it, and I've enjoyed being a part of a team to help build a culture, a really healthy one. And I think for me, it's been amazing to be back in Florida playing and being a part of this special year last year, and then obviously this going into this year, just looking to help in any way that I can and be the best leader and player that I can be.
Just kind of going back to Gotham, looking at some of the national team players they have, obviously they've kind of retooled a little bit, brought some new players in. What are you kind of expecting just from their perspective? Obviously, you guys have a target on your back now. You know that every team's going to be getting after you. Just kind of, what's the kind of vibe from that perspective?
Yeah, I think we've talked about that a lot, that we do have a target on our backs, but for us it's more about focusing on ourselves and not focusing on anyone else and what they're trying to do, because I think if we focus on ourselves and we bring our best to the table, then we're going to be really hard to play against. And so I feel like a lot of times it's within our control, and we have a really good team in all areas, and so for us it's just about focusing on that. And I think this league is so crazy because every year teams can look so drastically different. The worst team can be at the top and vice versa in just 1 year. And so I think for us it's so much more important to just focus on ourselves. And obviously it's the beginning of the year and we're not really sure exactly what teams are doing. And a lot of times teams change for, who they're playing against. And so for us it's just trying to learn different ways of breaking teams down and how to go about and be able to notice some things.
Thanks, Morgan.